Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Before we get going here, I have a very important correction to make. And at least it's, once again, important to me. And that is, yesterday I made a mistake, and it was, I think the first person to draw it to my attention was UK Martin. And he says, when you were asking Google to remind you about a upcoming event, did you possibly mean the 24th of February, not the 24th of March? And yes, Peter at Ozscale Modeling, his first live show from Thailand, like I think a lot of you know, Peter has moved to Thailand from Australia, and yeah, he's going to be having his first live show tomorrow. That's the 24th of February, Saturday, 3 p.m. Winnipeg time. You have to figure it out from there. Anyway, yeah, I made a mistake, and I hope I didn't. Now I'm hoping now that people aren't going to miss it that would have otherwise been able to see it. So it's the 24th of February, not the 24th of March. And I'm surprised that Google didn't pick up on that. And I think the reason is because I think there is a Saturday, the 24th of March, because isn't there only 28? Because there's 28 days in this month. I think that's probably why. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, got that straightened out. Now, what I want to do here on our little tiny sink is I want to try and take the heat gun and see if I can't straighten this out. I'm going to see if I can't maybe do it on camera. You know, right now if I was to try and twist this over the few degrees that it has to go, I'd probably snap it off. But the heat gun, I found if I get it up to about 160 degrees, it seems to soften the joint where you have the glue. I don't think it softens the plastic, but it softens the glue, or at least that place. You know how, those of you who have done welding, you know how when you're welding, the weld it weakens the area around the weld, like it loses its temper or whatever. And well, I think it's that way with this glue. You put the glue on a joint, and the joint itself, well, the glue might be really strong. The joint softens so that when it's reheated, just a little bit, that's all that's necessary to make it malleable. My goodness, I'm getting bogged down again. Okay, we do have a rollback. Yeah, I went down to the workshop yesterday for a little while. Not as long as I had intended, but it was getting late and I was getting tired. Okay, so our sunrise. I don't know if it's going to be pretty or not. We are definitely going to be able to see it. Like you can see out there, the sun is shining in places. And hey, yesterday I noticed that I thought in the afternoon, I was saying, you know, I could get out on my e-bike. The road was starting to get a little bit bare in places, and mind you, it only takes one little patch of ice to slip, you know. But I think the bike path might be nice, so I might get out later this afternoon. That'd be kind of fun. Now, let's get going here. There's no, Dawn and Bridget did come by this morning. You'll probably see them in the sunrise episode at the end of today's episode. Oh my goodness. Let's before I get too completely tongue-tied here, let's roll back and see what it is that happened down in the workshop yesterday late afternoon, actually evening. Okay, I've already measured this and drawn a line, but I just want to double check You know the old saying, measure twice, cut once. Okay, so I need, let's see here. I'll bring you in so that you can see. I think I'm going to have to take the line. Yeah, if I just take the line, it'll be dead on 1,219 millimeters. I'll bring you over here and you can see it. I know you want to, right? Okay, you can see here we got 1,200 millimeters, or 120 centimeters, and 19. You can see the 19 falls pretty much right on the center of the line, so now I can't cut that accurate anyway. I wouldn't want it too big because it might not fit into the part, and yet if it's too small, you know, the old saying, you can always cut it shorter, but you can't cut it longer. But I think I can get it pretty close here. You know, the 2x4 might shrink a millimeter anyway before I get to use it. So, okay, let's get ourselves plugged in and turned on and make some sawdust. Okay, so what I need to do now is cut this similar to this. In other words, it'll come down like this and then go up like this. But to get the, you know, I could probably lay my protractor on here and measure it. But I think that an easier way to do this, like, where's my tape measure here? I'll be right back. Okay, now these 2x4s used to be 3.5 inches, and it still basically is. Yeah, it's about 3.5 inches. Now the edges are kind of rounded a little bit, so you got to allow for that. Yeah, it's still 3.5. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this is drawn to 3.5. I think I'm going to go back upstairs to the computer and I'm going to print out another one of these, only with really fine lines like this, and then it'll be easier to get it exactly dead on. And then what I'll do is I'll cut it out and just sort of trace it in the right place. But that's not going to be tonight. What I will do tonight, though, off camera, is cut another piece exactly like this one right here, because we have to make two like this. Okay. We'll, yeah, I guess we'll see you upstairs. So, yeah, see you in the morning. Okay, I realize that this vise is probably, you might say, overkill here. Just want to get it so it's sort of straight. Now, if we get the angle just right here, you should be able to see that this pipe is just too much over this way. It should be straightened out just a little bit. Okay, let's slip our macro lens on here and have a nice close look. Okay, the heat gun is set for 160 degrees Fahrenheit, and this should not take very long. Now, before that has a chance to cool down again, And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this tube and draw air over the joint. Okay. Now, once that completely cools, yeah, you can see now it's actually, I think it's just about right actually. Unless possibly I've got it twisted too much this way, and it should be a little bit more out the side. Well, let's lay it on the part and see how it looks. No, I think we got it just right. And it would have to come down just a little bit here because the bottom of this drain pipe, there is going to be a deck go right here. You can see there's a slot here and a slot here where it plugs into, and so we want to have the drain pipe come up just above that deck. Now, you remember yesterday I was talking about the little piece that I thought was the faucet, which is this one right here. If I can get it to come off now. Okay, that is actually a door handle for one of the doors that goes on this part. And the faucet, oops, there's the faucet. Okay, and you can see the tap part of it is, well, maybe you can't see it. Maybe you're just too far away. We'll use the macro lens and try and get it to. I think the best time to paint it is after I get it stuck on there. I think that if I try to paint this thing right now and then glue it on, the glue is going to meld the white as well as whatever. I think this is supposed to be sort of a silver color, isn't it? Anyway, that's our little faucet. So we didn't lose it. Yeah, let's get it plugged in this hole here. Okay, don't want to bend our pipe. I think I should give myself a different vise. Okay, I think I've got it. Alright, now the tap is right here. We want to get it so that the faucet part I gotta be careful not to squeeze it too hard or I'm going to end up breaking the faucet off. I'm going to try and grab it a little bit differently here. Let me check the monitor. Can you see that? Whoops. Fell in the sink. Okay. You know what? Okay. Now, I'm looking at this sink here, and I'm wondering, did the heat from the heat gun boil the paint, Or was it like that before already, and I just didn't notice? I know there were bubbles on there before. So maybe it's possible that applying all that heat was not a good idea. Okay, now how can I pick this up and stick it down in that hole? Might have to take it off camera here just to reposition it. Unless I could grab it by the tap at the top, like this. And now I gotta twist it around. I just gotta take it off camera here. Well, I had it. Come on. Now, a moment ago, like probably about 5 minutes ago, my neighbor was over with Missy, and he was mentioning how it was quite cold, and I just checked the thermometer here when I came back to the model table, and it says, I think it says -13 or something. So it might not be a very good idea to be going out on the e-bike when it's -13, because there's the risk of frostbite. Now that's got to go down in that hole. Now I can always twist it around afterwards. Oh, come on. Maybe I position myself just a little bit differently here. Now, maybe push it with my finger. Does it look like it's going to go down? Yeah, it's pretty much in the right position now. If I could put a little bit of extra thin on that. Where is my extra thin? Just let it sort of flow down the tap into the hole. Okay, now before that dries, can I straighten it up and get it down in the hole? I know it's sort of doesn't want to go down the hole. Maybe there it goes. It's in. Now the tap has to go this way just a little bit, like that. Now straighten it up. Okay, let's let that dry. Okay, I'm sort of doing a bit of a dry run here. You notice in the back right here where I'm touching, I think the extra thin has dissolved the paint and it just sort of ran away. Now, what I've got here is the Tamiya XF2 flat white. I'm just trying to go in here, and I know that this is not what the painting and marking guide calls for. They want us to use the just trying to fill in some of these little holes here too. I probably would have been better off if I had have used this flat white right from the start and tried to forget about the having a gloss paint. So I just sort of fill in some of those holes. Okay. If I do get some on the top, it's okay. Why are these holes not filling in? There we go. There we go. Kind of. Sort of scrub it in there. Okay. How about right? Does it look like right there? I need some maybe. All right. Now, the painting and marking guide calls for Mr. Hobby number 8, but or the to me is X11, and we got the X11, but that will be for the tap itself. Okay, we'll just let that dry for a few minutes. Maybe I got too much on the brush there. That's somewhat better. Okay, this is the X11, sort of a silver. And I think if I'm very careful and just do the top, it'll give the illusion of being sort of chromed. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that. Just let me check the monitor. Yeah, I'm afraid if I try to come down too much on the tap, I get it on the sink. Okay, let's just leave that. Like I say, it gives the illusion of being chromed. And just for perspective here, okay? Just for perspective now. Okay, something like that. But I thought it might be a good idea to check this with the deck in place. And this is the first time actually I'm trying to set it in place here, and I think it. Oh, you know what? I may have to sort of trim the. This is not wanting to go in too well because of the pipes that are coming down off this valve. Let me just try it here. No, I'm going to have to take a. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to take our Tamiya nippers here. Where are they? Somewhere. Okay, and very carefully here. Maybe I should get my other glasses on too. Okay, I'm not going to bother putting on the macro lens. I'm just going to cut about probably 1/4 of a millimeter off the bottom here, like that. And keeps wanting to move away on me here. Like that. Okay, and I think I got something. Yeah, you can see them there. Okay. Now let's try this again. Yeah, that fits better. Okay, so now we can see how far down, pardon me for getting in the way. Okay, if we put it, oh, it's going to have to come up a little bit though. You can see that slot is showing. Alright, so that's going to be sort of a good rule of thumb. I'll just put it, now I can get it out of there. There we go. Yeah, I'll just, there's something I can poke with here. Tony's tweezers will probably do the trick. Just get it about right there, like that. Just so it covers that slot, okay? Like that. Not quite straight. There. Okay, I think maybe I should use a thicker glue that isn't going to go and get all over the paint here. Yeah, and then what I could do is I could just do the back side of this and then drop it down into place. At least that's the plan. I'll put the macro lens back on. Okay, I just want to do a dry run here. I want to be able to come straight down and not smear it around. And I want to be able to just drop it like that. Okay, so what I've got here is, I guess if there's Tamiya thick, or Tamiya thin rather, the opposite is the Tamiya thick. So what we've got here is the Tamiya thick. Oh, taking it out of the field of view, sorry about that. I'm pretty sure that's going to stick. Now we wanted to just cover that slot. There. And it could maybe go a little bit this way, like that. Okay, I think that's going to be good. Yeah, I don't know if I should try and tap it down or not. It's probably melding into the paint. Now I know that's not going to be real strong, but it should be strong enough that if I don't catch my fingers on it, it won't come off. Okay, I think we're glued on here now. Quite a bit of time has passed. But if I'm smart, I'm going to put this in a nice safe place where I'm not going to accidentally set something down on top of it. Probably about 15 minutes ago when I had come back to the model table and I was trying to get my paint sorted out and what have you, I accidentally caught my finger on the little handle here and bent it slightly. I straightened it out and fixed it with some extra thin here. You'd never know it now, but I'm just telling you that, so yeah. I don't know why I tell these things. You'd never know if I didn't tell you. Okay, so I'm going to put this in a safe place eventually. However, moving right along here in step 18, finally we're back into it. This sink took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. Anyway, if we go from left to right, we got to make our desk here. So that's this piece here and this piece here. Okay, I think there's positioning pins on this, isn't there? Yeah, there is. Okay, but going by the painting and marking guide, and that's what I was actually spending quite a bit of time doing, trying to discern which line stopped on which color. Anyway, the woodwork in this section right here, in other words, like the side of the desk, they want the 37. And the top of the desk, which is green, is the 6. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to paint these pieces. Try and get as much of 18 done as we can, naturally. This piece right here, which is this one, I think I may have painted it the wrong color in the forward section. It seems to me that they want this a different color, not gray. I think it's supposed to be some kind of a brown, but I could be wrong about that. Anyway, we'll worry about it when we get to it. We know that this has to be brown and this has to be green. So, however, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I get a coffee visitor. And yeah, what do we got here? It's 14 minutes after 2 in the afternoon right now. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it quits here. I haven't had a chance to check the sunrise to see what we've got. All being well, I'll dub that in at the very end. In other words, in about 30 seconds. So thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.